100. We're going to open up with prayer, do a responsive reading, and we're going to praise the Lord. Psalm 100 says, make a joyful shout to the Lord, all you lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his sheep, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful to him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endures to all generations. Father God, we thank you for waking us up this morning, Lord God. We thank you for protecting us throughout the whole week, Lord God, to be here on this Mother's Day to worship you, Lord. Lord, we just acknowledge that we can't do anything without you, Father God. We can't breathe, we can't eat, we can't think, we can't do anything without you, Lord. So we let you know that it's all because of you that we're able to do those small, minute things that we sometimes take for granted, Lord. Lord, we ask that you forgive us for all our sins we've committed, Father God, throughout the week as well. Lord, we haven't been all that we should be, Lord God, but we want to do better, Lord God, as a people. So, Lord, I ask that you touch all of us, Father God, and help us in all our shortcomings, Father. We thank you for the tithes and the offering that's going to be taken up this morning, Father God. And we use it to advance your kingdom, Father God, and to keep the church going and keep the church up, Father God. Lord, we thank you for your son, Jesus, that died on the cross for our sins, giving us eternal life, Father God, so we can live forever with him, Lord God. And Lord, we would like to ask that you watch over the ones that don't have their mother with them present here on earth, Father God. Give them the strength, give them the courage to keep pressing on, Father God, to remember the good times they have with their mother, Father God. And for the ones that do have their mothers here, Lord God, we ask that we not take our mothers for granted, Father God, but cherish our mothers, call our mothers, appreciate our mothers, Father God. Please, Lord, give us all the strength to do those things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. The Psalm of reading is coming from Proverbs 31, verses 10 to 12, and 26 to 31. Who can find a verse this month? For her price is far more brutal. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness.
Her children grow up and her husband also, and she praiseth her.
Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all.
Give her her hope to love her hands, and let her own work praise her.
Amen.
Boy, ain't too many happy couples here this evening. And we got to hurry up and get out some meat today.
Everyone's there.
I'm sorry, Lord.
Amen. Let the works I'm coming, Lord, and when I get there, let the work I've done speak for me. Amen. So let us get ready. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Uh, whether you're happy or not, you all can happy just to be here. Thank God for all our mothers. We're just going to briefly recognize a woman, a mother in the Bible. We don't often do that. Deviate a little bit from Proverbs. And we look for a virtuous woman every year at this time. Last year, we looked at Eunice and Lois, mothers and grandmothers. This year, we'll look at a woman that we often take for granted. See, all of us came. Well, let's just look at this. 2 Kings, verse 4. 2 Kings, verse 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 2. That's the text. That's your, Joshua already want to make it on over. So that's all. I just go to the text while. So we deviate a little bit from our Sunday school lesson. So right now, and just a few words of encouragement. And Elijah said unto all, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what have thou in the house? And she said, thy handmaid have not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. This is one that's from all in the house. What is it? What we got to do is look at. He said, what did I have? Why did what should they do for? When Elijah was speaking, he said to her, he was speaking to her circumstances. All mothers got different circumstances. But I'm amazed at the mothers that in spite of their circumstances, we talk about single mothers. I don't care what your circumstances are. If you got God on your side, He's bigger than your circumstances. All you got to do is appreciate what you already got. Okay, then we see Elijah, you see the tone in that first voice, he says, what shall I do for thee? He was showing a sense of compassion. And we have some compassion, mother, not only to us, but to other people. Nothing like a compassion. But we get that because we serve a compassion. Every Christian mother should have some compassion. And then he gives us, at the end, he gives us some instruction. And young people, we're going to get you involved in that. He was in a house, he had 2 sons, but when she gave the 2 sons instruction, they obeyed her. Oh, come on, young people. Y'all say amen. Because if you, one way for you to make your mother happy is to listen to what they say. So let's look at this story. In the first king, Elijah runs across the willow and he's taken after his mentor with the 17th chapter of 1 King. Elijah had already took the little meal of widow that was down to her last meal, and he had invited herself at home and asked for to have supper with her. And it was just her and her kid, and she was just saying, we're just going to eat this meat, and we just going to be our last meal. But Elijah said, I'll tell you what, cook it up and give me some. But she trusts the Lord enough to go ahead and help us just like a mother. To go ahead and trust and gave the man of God a piece of meal, and God multiplied that meal. We'll see what. If you share what you got with other folks, what you got will go a whole lot further. You can get that, you can get that, you can get that. And I was raised by a mother that no matter how much we had, if anybody came around, they were going to have what I had. My wife tells a story about when my mother-in-law used to be a good cook. And when they had company come over, they stayed in Elizabeth. So the whole, you were one of them company, I want to tell them. So, and my wife would say when they come over, she cooked the cake. Everybody in the neighborhood would come over. They knew they were going to get a big slice of cake. My mother sliced it so thin that you could see through the cake, but everybody got a piece of cake. But that's just like a mother. A mother, that's my grandmother. A real mother can't stand to see children around their home. Amen. So no matter what the circumstances are. And look, I look at the definition, I'm not picking, I mean, people on you today, don't, I just say I got this check while somebody told me something. They're lying to you, you look at this here yourself. Circumstances or factors or various financial status that's beyond your control. It is not ever been that. Yeah. Sometimes you have situations that you just can't handle. You need to put a battery in. Okay, it's all now. Okay, she put the battery in. Y'all look at it. So first, well, that we have in there, the second king, Elijah had went to a certain woman. She had, went to a certain, now he cried with her. Now they have cried a certain woman. A certain woman came to Elijah, I'm sorry. And, she had two sons, and her husband was a priest. You get in there, Reverend Jackson. They had servant, my Savior servant, but he was a faithful priest. And so she said, my wife died. I mean, my husband died, and I got these two boys. And we in trouble with the restaurant. I'm left with a lot of debt. And I don't know how I'm gonna pay these bills.
See, it was okay in that time for the 21st chapter of Exodus, the 15th chapter of Deuteronomy. It was appropriate for if you owe debt so much that you can, the one who, the creditor, have the right to take your children and let them work off the debt. They couldn't make slave out of them. That was a Jewish ancient law. But sometimes you can get in more debt. Come on, you ain't never had no circus dancer. That's out of your control. And that's why, come on, I'm going to talk to the man first. If you, the husband of a wife, you all not, I don't care how much she giggle in your face and how much she rub your head, don't get yourself in a situation where if something happened to you, she can't pay the bill. One thing I admire by my dad, my mother is not rich, but he left her where she can at least pay the debts that you have. You say, well, we got to credit something. If you get a car, ride on, but get some life insurance on it. So when you go, she can ride and you won't have to be paying for the car. No, come on, work with me. So you are, that's the mother of your children. So when you leave, you got to leave her where she can take care of your children. I don't care how you look at me. A lot of things Brenda Ann want, but what we get, I'll make sure she can keep it when I'm gone. Now, you didn't hear me, Deacon Meek. I say a lot of things she want, I'll make sure she can keep it when I leave or she don't get it. Y'all ain't like that, dude. She looking at me all funny, but that's where. But because I don't want her to have circumstances that out of her control. But no matter how it is, if you didn't got that, don't worry about it. God, you got help coming now. You just got to look around and see what's in your house. I ain't say who in your house. Maybe that might be your problem. What's in your house, God can use the circumstances. See, don't look at all circumstances as a problem. Sometimes this is just an opportunity for God to show out. Tell me what you say in the 2nd Chronicle. He was writing in the 16th chapter. He said, God is going to and fro. He's looking for somebody that he can show out with. That's 2nd Chronicle. Just read it. So he can show himself strong. You might have circumstances this morning. Just hang in there. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Just look there. It's just an opportunity. It's a problem for you, but it's an opportunity for God to show you what he can do. So I don't care what it's out of your control, but it's in control. Now God in the 18th chapter, you can read that for yourself. God's favor will us. So if you left in a situation and you got out of, I don't care whether it's debt, and if you've been faithful to God, God's going to turn that bad situation out to your good, I guarantee you. Because David, remember, when he was in a circumstance, he said, I have been young, and now I'm old. And all of my life, but have I not seen the right? I have never seen God let me down. God take care of his people. It's out of your control. That's when sometimes we need to get there so we can give God control of your situation. And don't be so faithful. So our circumstances may be, and you might have made your circumstances that way. But she was in dire, had a desperate situation. Then in verse 2, you show that compassion. He showed that. He said, what can I do for you? The Lord has asked you that, mother. I don't care what your situation is. Just be honest. I don't care if you got yourself there. Just be honest with the Lord this morning. He's asked you, what can I do? God have compassion on you. This woman, she trusted the Lord. See, one thing she did, she knew where to go when she got in trouble. Some of us go here. Some of us go get a man. Some of us get, I'm going to tell you, if you got Jesus on your side, you don't need nobody else. You got to go to the right, if you want help, you go to the right person and the right place to get the help that you need to get help. Happy Mother's Day. I want to ask you a question. What's in your house? Or should I say, who in your house? All right, let's go before I get you in trouble. Don't keep Mother's Day happy. We ain't going there today, all right? And Elijah was moved with compassion because his servant, her husband, was faithful to the Lord. And that's why I think about Reverend Conway and Deacon Lee. That's why we do that once a year, recognize them, because they were faithful men. Somebody say, well, every year they do something, and every year they do something. They were leaders and they were faithful. we ought to at least appreciate their wife at least once a year. If they don't do it for my husband, well, what's in your house? We would do the same for your husband. And if something happened to me, y'all don't care Brenda's much of fried rice she didn't cook and orange juice over it. You ought to give her rice or a drink or something. That's just a Christian thing to do. Compassion. We need to show compassion one to another. You can't talk of compassion. You got to show compassion. That compassion thing, thank you, Josh, for putting it up. See, compassion is emotional response, but it's not just an emotion. I had to add to it. It which result in action. Compassion means I feel you so much that it moves me to do something for your situation. It's an act of love or mercy. And I like that mercy, and I'm going to do it for you. I don't care how you done treat me. And mothers do that. Sometimes we children don't treat our mother right, but still out of compassion, they do what they have to do. And I always tell mothers, don't worry about if your children don't do what they're supposed to do. You just do mother, and that is their job to do children. We're going to get there. We're going to get there to what he said. It will move with compassion. And we didn't read all that. But I want to say this about the compassion. You can read them. I ain't got time to read that. I got to let the mothers go so they can get there. We look at it in Malachi 3:17, talk about the compassion. But what I want to do on the compassion, when you read Matthew 9:38 and 36, when you read Matthew 14:14, when you read Mark 6:33 to 34, let me just say that. Now you read the one in Matthew. He said he saw sick people, and he would move with compassion. And the mothers, there's something about them. You can have a pain or you can have something going on, and they'll stay up all night, even if they got a job in the morning. And they'll rock that baby, or they'll rock. Even when I was a baby at 20 years old, my mother will stay up, or my wife will stay up. They did their mother thing. I don't care what it took, or they will move with compassion to do what it takes to take care of you. Come on. That's my mother's job. Yeah, mothers never stop being mothers. And I thank God I thank God for my mother and my wife, who's the mother of my children. There's no way up and about. They truly don't have a feeling for children. They do things for me. And you ain't got to do no whole lot. It's the little thing. It's the little thing. Ain't that right, Joe Better? Joe Better can go to work and don't have to worry about going to school or picking the children up. Those are little things, but they big. When you got circumstances when you need them. So when you do what you can do, that's compassion moves you to do whatever you can do. And those little things that she do is worth a whole lot more. But that's a mother's compassion. That's a mother's compassion. It moves her to do something for you. And your circumstances may be one. And let me say something. I'm going to say this. I don't want nobody to feel uncomfortable. And today, I don't care what your circumstances is. Believe this, your mother love you. She might not, you may not see it. I deal with children all the time. They got pinned up anger because of the mother's situation and circumstances. If you are in a house with your mother, you ought to thank God that you got a mother in the house. I see too many children in pain because they can't go under. And I have to tell them a story about Solomon. Solomon had two mothers that was rooming together. One mother, they went to sleep that night. One mother rolled over on her baby and killed it. The other mother, she got up and traded babies in the night with the other mother. And when they got up, the other mother, see a mother know her child. My mother know when something ain't going right. She can just look at me. She can just listen to me. They love you so much they can know something ain't going. Brenda could get off the phone with 1 hour. She'll say, Giuseppe ain't right with my child. Because they know them. But this woman woke up. She knew that was not a child. She went to him and said, you got my child. And they had a conflict, and they say, I tell you what, let's carry to Solomon, let him make the decision. Solomon heard both sides of the story. And he said, I'll tell you what, bring me a sword. You got to understand this, in those days, when a king said something, it had to be carried out. Because if the one that he told to carry it out don't carry out what he told him to carry out, will have it carried out on them. And if the king changed his mind, he will have it carried out on him. So once he decreed it, it had to happen. Wasn't no end about it. So he said, cut the baby in half. Give one of them one half and give the other one half. In the 3rd chapter, King, is in your Bible. It shows you how a real mother do. And then one of the mothers said, no, let the child live. Let her go have it and live. The one that was willing to let her child go in order that they could have a life, or maybe even a better life, was the real mother. Now that child may have grown up and thought the mother didn't love him, but it because the mother loved him that he let the loud child go. I'm just going to say this, and I don't care how uncomfortable, but I run into children because I work for the state that mothers had to let their child go because they weren't able to take care of themselves. And they know that the child was better off with somebody else because they circumstance. If you are raising your child and God can keep him in your house, you better thank God that you got, because it didn't have to be there. So I'm going to tell you, if you sitting here and you a mother that have been in had those circumstances, or you a child that been there, you still need to love your mother. Because circumstances, we don't, remember I told you that circumstances sometimes out of our control. Now what you thought about the mother that were going to let the cut her and get the other half? She didn't have no heart. I know that's a sensitive statement. Now, every mother that do that ain't right. I didn't say that. But sometimes circumstances don't think you don't love them. Your mother don't love you. Sometimes grandmothers have to take of her. And I was talking to Pre-June yesterday. He was going to see his mother drop off a piece of change. I thank God for that. I kept encouraging him for 2 weeks because he was raised by his grandmother. But his grandmother taught him, don't care what she did or what she didn't do. That's your mother. You want me to say that again? Every mother deserves your compassion, your love, because they did sometimes what they had to do with what situation they was in. So I don't care what your situation is. I don't care what the child say. Happy. Okay. Now, I'm not justifying, don't look at me strange like you're mad with me. I'm not saying every circumstance should be like they are. Sometimes the mother need to give an account because they the one made the circumstance. But sometimes circumstances where there's out of their control. All right? So he said, what's in your house? And God, favor to her. Watch this. And then she said, nothing but let me tell you something. If you can get the little bit that you got and put it in God's hand, he can turn a little bit into a, what you say? Andrew, what you say, Andrew? I found a little lad that had 5 loaves and 2 fish. And they looking for restaurant workers now. And Jesus opened up a restaurant with 5,000 plus people, fed all 5,000. Circumstance was down. And in those, I read those to you. 14, you read them. 33 of Mark, and the 6th chapter John. But before he did that, he was moved with compassion. The disciples, they couldn't figure this out. Look, we ain't got but 100 pennies. That's 2 ways to we can't feed all these folks. I'm telling you, you don't need a whole lot if you just have faith in God. He said, wait a minute, lad, can I borrow your lunch? Carry it to Jesus. Look, whatever your circumstance, you carry it to Jesus. He'll work it out some kind of way. Jesus said, I tell you what, y'all sit down. Organize. Don't just go, don't run over each other. Just how y'all will when you get the food. He had to get them to sit down before they run over each other because they was hungry. They had been out there listening to Jesus preach all day. And see, some of y'all hungry, you ain't listened to me all hour. Watch it. And he sat down. It took faith to sit down and wait on a meal. You sat down, when I used to go to a restaurant, that's why I didn't like to go, because you had to sit down and wait. But it wasn't long. Jesus prepared for 5,000. It took faith that you weren't going to starve it there for the meal good. And he turned the disciples into waitress. And it said, just sit down. And he took the 5 loaves and gave it to them and said, give them all something to eat. I don't care how dying and desperate your situation. Just take that little bit and put it in Jesus' hand. He'll make everything. How you do that? Pay your tithe. Give an offer to the church. Take what little bit that you got. What's in your house? You got 10%. Come on, y'all didn't like it. You don't like that. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. And then so he took, but each, before those phrases that you read on your screen, I already said them, 9:60, Jesus was moved with compassion. The disciple wanted to send them back. Say, let them go and find their own food. And then Jesus said, no, he was moved with compassion. They came out here, at least they listened. We're going to feed them. And they had so much. It's like our story. I'm getting ahead of them. That way when I get to the end, I'll be to the end. They had so much left over. But again, Jesus don't waste. He ministered to a need, not a greed. You ain't hear that. Some of us are so greedy, we'd have took them baskets and put them in the freezer till it got freezer bond, rather than give them to somebody else. I didn't hear you. You need to look to somebody that's not as well off as you. They might be right in your neighborhood. It might right be next door. Give some of that food up. Don't be harping up on that stuff and you know you ain't going to do nothing but throw it out in the garbage. And you're only going to do that, throw it out when it's smelling. Yeah, why you laugh at me? We mothers are like, they have a compassion like the Good Samaritan. Good Samaritan, the Good Samaritan, that's why James in 1:23 say pure religion is those that takes care of the widows. That widows was one of the things. And we need to take care of our widows. New Morning Star, we do a good job, but I think we can do a little bit better. Our widows should never worry about making a choice between buying their medicine and food for their house. But they ought to be humble enough to come to the, like this woman was. Don't worry about it, I can handle it. Because you know me, you come to me with some stuff that ain't right, you ain't getting nothing no way. You ain't gonna go spend your money up on drugs and cigarettes and wine and whiskey and come get our money to buy your food. I ain't say that. But if you doing your best and you got in a situation, and it didn't happen, New Morning Star, don't you do without your medicine. If you're a willer and you're faithfully serving the Lord, and I'm saying that in church, I know, because you know, I'm saying it to widows that's faithful members of the church that wouldn't take advantage of that no way. Because we didn't gave some members money for something, and they gave the money back because they didn't need it. But I'm just telling you, as a church, we need to have compassion enough when we got somebody that's faithfully serving the Lord, doing their best to serve the Lord. When they get and dial straight, we need to be there when they didn't got a situation out of their control. That wasn't their fault. Y'all with me? But this man, see, we could be religious and still not be compassionate. Why you say that, preacher? You just read Exodus 10th chapter, Luke started in the 25th verse. I was going to be short to them. Mother, I know I just want to keep you happy. But I'm like, I can't let you out now. We love you. Watch this. Because we got too many compassionate mothers. But we need more because we got to love one another and help one another. So I'm trying to solicit more women in the church and mothers to spread that love and that compassion amongst the members. There are places here that people are not humble enough to cry out when they have a real need. Now, don't worry about them coming here and they don't have a real need and they done messed up. They ain't going to come to me because I'm like Big Daddy was to the rest of the family. Because I'm going to examine you and make sure how you got where you got before I get you where you want to go. Watch it. What I say about being religious, that's what he said about being pure religious. Watch who passed this. Watch who passed this Good Samaritan came along. Now this was a Jew that was woman from Jerusalem to Jericho. And he had fell among thieves and they robbed him and took all they had, beat him and left him there for dead. And there you had the preacher. The preacher or the Levite, both of them came by. You say the Levite came first, preacher? I'll take your word for it. You reading the word. The Levite came first. That was just a member, called himself religious. Looked on him, and then kept on going. How many times have you seen people need something, and you just say, everything gonna be all right, God gonna take care of you? If you need $1 and I got 10 in my pocket, God want to use you to give me at least $1 out of the 10. So we just religious. We talk that religious talk, but we don't have the compassion to move us to do something when we ought to do it. Come on, happy Mother's Day. But we got mothers in the church, and my wife's not the only one. I just kind of seen it. You'll fold up a little piece of change. Come on, come on. Slide it in there. You ain't never seen that? You didn't had that. See, some of us, we didn't felt it. All right. That's good. The preacher said, admit, he didn't have some mother, he didn't felt it in his hand. And that's what we need to be. Because a mother can know when another mother going through something. And you see they going through something, just pass by, roll up a little something. You weren't going to do nothing but buy a big guzzler with it anyway. Roll up a little something and slide it in there. Nothing wrong with that. And I know people in this church do that. That's why I'm saying that. That's because they got that mother compassion. And they see another mother going through something. And if you can't fold nothing, cook a meal, carry it over to their house. Why y'all so quiet with me in the morning? We can't just be religious people, talk the talk and don't walk the walk. And watch this. Then you had the preacher. See, the preacher wanted the Levite, put the focus on the Levite, the members. But here's the preacher, he come by. Okay? You thought I was going to skip him. That's why you got it wrong. The preacher was first, he passed by. And when, he didn't only pass by, he got on the other side of the road. You know, when you ever been in the store and you don't want to run on something, you see him at the other aisle, you jump over. A compassionate mother won't run for you when you need something, because she knows she might have to run to you when she needs something. You better be, sometimes you'll run away from your blessing. If you lift me up today, tomorrow, y'all not with me this morning. Then it had these Samaritans, which the Jews hate, and there was another Jew. He wasn't racial. We got the country that's so divided and no compassion. We done been through all that 4 years, and we still got a little bit to deal with it. But he didn't care what race he was. He just saw a need. He was moved with compassion, the Bible says. And he took the man up, wiped his wound down, put him up on his beast. He walked and let him ride. And then carried him to the inn and said, look here, I paid for his room. And if he accumulate any debts while there, put it on my record. I'm glad that Jesus Christ paid for me a room. And I know I still sin, but he had bought and paid for my room in heaven. But anything I do till I get there, he say, charge it to me. Put it on my account. I'm glad I got an account in heaven, because I mess up sometime and I need to get a withdrawal. And I'm glad that I could just. So we have mothers that have the compassion as the good Samaritan, which represent Jesus. That's your neighbor. Your neighbor could be anybody that God said you would serve. Let's get this woman. Let me get this mother. So this mother, she came to the right place. So she took counsel. And I'm a girl. And he told her what he told her to do. Use what you got in your house. Don't get down on what you don't have. Thank God for what you do have. Use what you got. And you got some people that want to help you. I want you to go borrow some empty pots. Not a few, and just get many as you can. And that's where the neighbors come in. They gave what they had, and it was an empty pot. You didn't need to buy good. Then I want to shut yourself up in the room by yourself. In your house, it shouldn't be nothing but the pot and your two sons. Come on, Joe Vetter, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you ought to thank God for what's in your house. Don't sit around worry about that man that ain't did you right. Thank God for what's in your house. You what's in your house. But children, I want to get you in the house. What's in your house don't need to be a sassy child. That ain't going to help you. You need a child that's going to honor and obey his parents. What you say, Paul, to the Ephesians, 6th chapter, read along with me. One red children, the best thing you can do, sometimes we're sitting back and want our parents to go to work, do what we want to, buy name brand stuff, pay for this, pay for that, let me do this, let me do that, get mad in you because you don't let me do this. That ain't gonna happen in my house. If you're gonna eat my beans, put my rice over it, and put a side of cornbread on it and put a piece of drumstick with it, and you in my house, you gonna do what I say. If you get sassy with me, you better have you a job and know where your next meal gonna come from. You don't need to not to be appreciating, and we got children that don't appreciate what they got in their house. You need to thank God and honor your mother and obey them no matter whether you agree with them or not. First page, he said, because you're supposed to be a Christian. If you're a member of New Morning Star, he said, first place, you ought to obey your parents in the Lord. You ought to thank God you got some Christian parents that's trying to raise you up in a Christian home. And you do it not because you do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the first thing we promise. Don't get quiet on me, children. If you want to thank God and honor your mother, you need to listen to them and obey them. A wise man said in Proverbs 1:8, he said, you need to listen to the instruction and the guidance of your mother. They ain't going to tell you nothing that's going to hurt you, and whether you want to do it or not. And I don't care if they did it before. That's why they can tell you what not to do, because they don't want the same thing happen to you that happened to them. And it is the first with promise. Now, everybody not going to have a long life, or you might not have a short life, but the quantity of life is not the same as the quality of life. And we can be up in there. There are some children and even some mothers that would be in a better situation if they had to just listen. I would have got in a whole lot less trouble if I had to just listen to the instruction of my mother. Children, you need to obey your mother. Listen to them. I heard in the 2nd chapter of Exodus 2:19, but God had took a circumstance. You had a Moses' mother had to let him go in order to save his life. But God took it where his mother was raised up. Was the one that raised him. He let him go, trust him in the river. I'm got to go fast. But you know the story. But what I want to get to in 2:19 of Exodus, you go ahead and turn to it, especially young people. When God made arrangements, the Hebrew lady, the Pharaoh says, I know you need to get this as a Hebrew. You need to find a Hebrew woman. God, in his providence, made sure it was the mother of Moses. Pharaoh's daughter called her in, not knowing that was his mother. And the 2:19, he said, will you nurse this baby? Whatever you charge, I'll give you wages for it. Ain't that what it said, Alan? In 2:19? Exodus 2:19. In other words, they talk about wages. And okay, that's all right. When you get to it, just verify. That's what it say? 2:19? 2:19. But anyway, he said, the Pharaoh daughter say, well, I want to get to this. And you better get ready for me. You got to sing it because you're not going to help me unless you sing it. Because if I try to do the word, look at her, look at here. look at here. And you might have to sing it. And then when she offered a wedge, and the Bible says there was no wedges. She didn't charge her nothing. Look at here, young people. For the 9 months she carried you. No charge. For the night she stayed up when your fever was running high. No charge. For the clothes that she put on your back. No charge. For the bed that you laid in and don't want to make up half the time. No charge. For the activities that you go to that she paid for. No charge. For the pain that she put up with, for your back talk and everything that she put up with you, no charge. After all that she did for you and didn't cost you nothing, you go to the refrigerator, drink out of the milk carton, put your lips on them, probably ain't brush your teeth, and put the carton back in. And you still, she said, no charge. After all your mother did for you and didn't charge you a penny, the least you can do is listen to them. 2:9, read it.
And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it.
But she didn't take the wages. Because that's a mother. No charge. And my mother done did so much for me and ain't charging me a penny. Surely I can give her a flower. And my mother can tell me, I ain't going to say jump off a red bridge. I have to talk to mother about that. But anything she want me to do, or anything she, and my mother don't abuse that. She could come here. She know she could tell me to do it, and I'm going to do it. If it's in my power, I don't examine whether I agree with it or right, wrong. If my mother tell me to do it, no charge. And I'm going to tell you something, young people. I say this ever since I've been here 30 years, and I'm going to keep saying this. I would not have a friend or be around somebody that don't listen to their mother. And let me tell you something. Because if that person rebel against somebody that did all that for them and don't respect them, I will not trust my back on. Why y'all not making no noise now? I can understand the young people being quiet. Some of y'all old people ain't saying that because you're scared they're going to get mad at you when you go home. Probably, well, let me say it. You probably should have said it to him a long time ago. But it should be 11:14, I think. Somebody read 11:14. But anyway, we did listen to the counsel. Proverbs 1:8, we need to listen to the counsel of the Lord. Now this, he told him to go shut up. And sometimes you need to be some time with the Lord by yourself. Your circumstance so bad, and your house compassion, just you and see what he want to do. Why you got to do it? It's two things. Number one, Elijah wanted to give God the glory, so he didn't go in with him. And they need to. Sometimes you just need to get with the Lord, just you and the Lord by yourself. So they shut up. And you know what? Another reason why I think they shut up. Folks saw all that oil coming in all them pots. They would have went and got some more pots. And said, I gave you the first one. They'd have got some more pots to fill up. See, some people come and get what's in for them. So they had to shut up because they, and I'm going to tell you something, young, but when God then bless you, you can't tell everybody about your blessing. So sometimes you could just tell the Lord. So, children, it is the right thing to do. And the first promise, well, honor your mother. If you're a member of New Star, respect your mother. I ain't say agree with them. I say respect your mother. Love your mother. It's just the right thing to do. And you're going to have a better life. It's just that simple. Well, some of us want a peaceful home. We want all this in home. You got to make it. You in the house. You ain't gonna have no peace being sassy, rebellious, disobedient. I know you wouldn't have it in my house. I know you don't like me. The little children hate me now, but it's all right. You'll love me later. Wait till you get some children. And you start reaping what you sow. Let's go. Absolutely. Thank you, Diane. Let's go. Let me let you go home. But you know what? I think the oil would have still been coming to the day. See, your blessing come with your faith, but she did put faith in it. But what I like about it, I spent a lot of time. This miracle only happened because the two boys did what their mother said. That was key. You could bless your home, and that's why I'm so proud of my two grandboys. Joe Bello didn't have no husband in the house. Both of them went out, and I got some of you got children and grandchildren. Go out and try to get them a little job and try to help instead of sitting back getting mad because you 16 years old and all you sitting back and wanting and demanding Popeyes, Whataburger, now Burger King, they looking for people. If you want all that, go get yourself a job and help your mother get some of that. And you ain't the only one in the house. I thank God for them too. And there are other mothers that got children and grandchildren that be a help and not just sitting back being selfish. Say amen if I had to say it all by myself. Young people, this Mother Day, if you want your mother happy, just start respecting them, honor them, and obey them. By the way, we only end with this. We got a debt that we couldn't pay. But thank God we got the wages of sin is death. But the gifts of God is eternal life. We couldn't pay our debt, but Jesus paid it for us. And we've been set free because he paid you up. He did it because he was moved with compassion. God so loved you that he gave his only begotten son, that all you got to do is believe in him. I want you to come confess the Lord, because he's a mother for the mother and a father for the father. Won't you come and give Jesus Christ your life? Come on, give him your life. This might not be the message you come to hear on Mother's Day, but it's the message God got you here for a reason. It's the message you need to hear. See, sometimes we don't want to hear what we want. We need to get what we need. And I know we can use this today. It didn't inspire me to even do more for my mother. I might go get her extra watermelon today. My mother loved watermelon. But I ain't got, my mother don't do nothing. It don't take much to show capacity for your mother. It don't take much. Just do what they say. Make something out of yourself. I tell all my children, it ain't the flowers they gonna give your mother. I didn't buy no. I hope y'all gonna give her some flowers. Okay, you got me. Okay. It ain't the flowers that they give her. It is sugar. Now I say what my mother, my wife do for my children. That's another reason why I love her. Put that on card. She showed compassion to the entire family. It don't make a difference whether it's on my side or my wife is just a compassionate person. And not only in my biological family, she do it for my church family. And that just makes that much more special to me. So I didn't buy no flower, but I put a little flower money in there she could buy. Let the children buy the flower. But young people, and the best thing I tell all of my children, the best present I know, and I know I speak for my mother, for my wife, and I know I speak for my mother. The best gift you can give your mother is handle up on your own business. Respect her and handle up on you and raise the children. I told Joe Maine the other week, he was talking about coming home. I say, son, the best thing you can do for it, I say, just take care of my grandchildren and the grandchildren mother. You do enough for me. That's a gift to me. So young people, let's do what we can for our mother. Not just this day. Let's start the day, but start this day. Say, you know what? I'm going to start not think about what I don't have. I got this pot of oil. If I invest this into the relationship, God will multiply it. Won't you? Don't take advantage of what God can bless you with in your house. And there's a lot of folks, let me tell you, I know I'm through preaching, but my heart moves when I deal with children day in and day out that would do anything to be in the house that you in. Anything. They right now in group homes wish they had the opportunity to be in their home. And they had circumstances that were bad and still want to go back there. You don't take that for granted. I tell my wife out on, don't even take me for granted. She didn't cool down on fussing about me laying stuff around, leaving it. I say, when I leave you, you ain't gonna have that. You're gonna be wishing I was here to leave something later. So just appreciate what you got in the house while you got it. Amen? Let's go. We can do this together. This is New Morning Star. So won't you come confess the Lord Jesus with your mouth, believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Come to Jesus. Come to Jesus. He can take what you got and make a whole lot out of it. Come on. Is that one that want to receive Jesus Christ on Mother's Day? That's a special day that you could, if your mother's alive, even if she's not alive, this is a day for you to remember on Mother's Day. Thank God my brother had already received Rona. And not Jesse, but Richard. Richard he was about bad as me. But you could tell that his last year or two, some of you that was in the Bible Institute, he couldn't even how to talk, but he joined the church, joined the Bible Institute. He had circumstances where he was living with somebody, he got that stuff straight. They wasn't married, okay? But he got all that straight for the Lord. But here's what, I'm saying this to say this. My Mother's Day is still happy because my brother died on Mother's Day. She got a call on Mother's Day. But my mother still can be a happy mother because her child got right with the Lord. So her Mother's Day is not disturbed because she know his soul was well with the Lord. Do your mother a favor. Give your life to Christ. Give your life to Christ. Come confess the Lord Jesus with your mouth. Believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead. You could be saved tonight, this morning. It's still morning. Y'all thought I had preached at noon, I know. That 1, 2, or 3. 10 seconds. 8 left. Amen. Okay, we're going to have those in the choir stand. They'll lead us in a prayer. And if this prayer represents the desire of your heart, we want to.
I know I am a sinner and have rebelled against you in many ways. I believe Jesus died for my sins, and only through faith in his death and resurrection can I
Amen. So we thank God for that.
And for his instruction, his guidance. Let's just follow them. And don't let the devil tell you I was picking on you. Number one, I got Jesus to talk about it, so I ain't got to pick on you. I got plenty to talk. I'll just pick this text and this word speak to you. So you know I don't mind making you mad, no way. I get more out of it. Let me say, a guy across the street, his name is Mike. I just put Mike Jackson. He left us an offering. He said he wasn't coming over. You know, he'd come over every now and then. But he came over, gave us an offering this morning. My mother sent her regular offering next week. Dr. Stacy and LaWanda, I got their tithes. Dr. Joe and Lotus, I got their tithes. So we just thank God for them and their worshiping the Lord. And what I want you to do, go home, little ones and big ones. I don't care if your mother probably had to cook, that's probably in your best interest, but let her sit down. Let her sit down and you serve her. You didn't have to cook it. Duke, that Duke, want you to, you bring your mother, pull off her shoe, you bring your mother, help serve your mother. Help your two sisters serve your mother, okay? Y'all help, and y'all listen to your dad, and treat your mother like the queen today. All right? I'm telling them, but I'm talking to all the mothers. That goes for, but I know you can't do it. You got to serve her. Let the grandchildren serve you. You might have had to cook it. Bonita, just let Deacon Scott serve you. Amen. Telling me stop coughing for a while to give you something to eat. And I'm talking to all of the children. Don't look at me like that, Terry. You serve. Don't worry about it because you can't cook. Your mother can't neither, so don't. But serve her anyway. Diane probably had to cook it, but you serve her. All right? And I want all the young people, the Proverbs say, the husband and the children praise the mother. I want every child to stand and say, Mother, I love you and wish you a happy birthday. Every child. Come on, every child. Come on. If you got a mother present here today, I want you to stand. A mother or a grandmother present here today that then played in your life. I want you to say, we're going to take a chance. Keep your mask on. We're going to take a chance on that drop. That's a sweet thing to do. That's the way to do it. And I know she is compassionate mother. You got a great mother. And that's why my wife, our daughter, Letty Mae just had her. And she's a blessing to the family. All right, can we say that? Stand up. Stand up. I want you to say, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to listen to you. And happy Mother's Day. Now, let's do it together. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm going to listen to you. Happy Mother's Day. Amen. Now, don't you lie in God's house. Let's give God some praise for all the mothers in them. Let's go home and go. What you want? You get ready to go? Preacher, give us our last word. The preacher going to give us our last word.
So we continue to grow in grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and getting glory both now and forever. Let us all say.
Happy Mother's Day, y'all. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.